A recession in America, Mercedes-Benz sales slide, and Tesla's European sales plummet 36%. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance, put out by Business Insider, and written by Jennifer Soar, titled, Fed Rate Cuts Are Arriving Too Late, and Layoffs Show the U.S. Economy is Already in a Recession, Bond King Jeff Gundlach says. The author of this article referenced Jeff Gundlach, the bond king, as saying, "We are in a recession already." The author of this article went on to say, hiring has slowed steadily over the past year, even as GDP has continued to grow in recent quarters. Layoff announcements climbed 193% over the last month, according to a report from the consultancy Challenger, Gray & Christmas. Hiring plans for the year have also fallen to their lowest level on record, down 41% in August compared to last year. Well, my friends, it sure feels like we are in a recession. A lot of businesses have slowed tremendously. The American consumer is struggling financially. People are tapped out. They simply don't have the money to spend into the economy anymore. Some are doing their best just to tread water right now. Stocks were up yesterday. Traders were all excited about the 50 basis point cut. Before the great financial crisis, the Fed cut rates. Everyone was all excited back then too. Then the unthinkable happened. Financial markets and the housing market started to unravel. The aftermath was disastrous for many businesses and many everyday people. Not just here in America, but around the world. Let's hope the recession that Jeff Gundlach is calling does not morph into something like the GFC or something worse like a depression. I'm not saying that it is going to happen. I just said let's hope it does not morph into something like one of those events from history. Anything is possible, though. I think people forget that. With all of the debt and financial manipulation in the world, you better be prepared for anything. Here's what I want to know. Why does the Fed continue to get away with not sticking to their word? I thought they were committed to 2% inflation. We aren't there yet, but they just cut 50 basis points. There are a lot of people that want to know why. I've been watching the news, and some people think the Fed, who is supposed to be independent, cut 50 basis points because this is an election year. Others think the Fed is looking at the data and is frightened. It's really anyone's guess what is happening behind closed doors. There were a lot of comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, just making up his own definition of a recession. The next commenter said, we're completely in a recession. There are auto manufacturers about to go out of business, airlines furloughing, one going bankrupt. GDP would be falling if it weren't for record government spending, record public debt, record personal debt. American families are out of cash, wages not keeping up with inflation, new costs related to healthcare and insurance America didn't have in the years past. The dollar is in the toilet, reference record gold prices. There isn't anything the Fed can do now that isn't going to have unintended consequences. Raise rates and tighten, or lower rates, print money. It doesn't matter. Stagflation isn't off the table, in my opinion. The next commenter said, we were headed for a recession before COVID. Then, the government spent trillions of dollars to prop up the economy. That caused runaway inflation that eroded consumer confidence. Sales of durable goods fell, unemployment rose. So here we are again, headed back into that same recession. I'm going to share my thoughts regarding that last comment. I really think we would have seen an ugly recession had the COVID pandemic not resulted in the government injecting trillions of dollars into the economy. I have to wonder if we will see some new emergency that will prompt the government to do something similar in the future. I'm not talking about another pandemic. It could be any number of things. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on ZeroHedge.com, written by Tyler Durden, likely a pseudonym for writers at Zero Hedge, titled, Mercedes-Benz slides after China slowdown becomes a nightmare amid profit warning. According to the author, Mercedes-Benz shares in Germany tumbled on Friday after the luxury car maker slashed its full-year profit outlook. The company warned that further deterioration of the macroeconomic environment, specifically in China, was the primary reason vehicle demand softened. Well, my friends, let's hope we don't start hearing about layoffs at Mercedes-Benz in the future. Apparently, there isn't just a slowdown here in America. We certainly live in a global economy now. I'm not surprised to be hearing about this Mercedes-Benz slowdown. I have to wonder how long some people are going to be able to afford to continue to maintain the Mercedes-Benz vehicles that they currently own. I would never own another one because of the cost to maintain them after the warranty period expires. I previously owned an SL convertible. I'm not sold on their quality these days. To my point, a commenter beneath this article said, Mercedes went to expletive in 1998 when Daimler sold Chrysler. I own 3 Mercedes from the 1970s and 1980s, W116, W123, R107, that are built like tanks and run like Timex watches. You couldn't pay me to own one of their current hunks of crap. The next comment came from someone who said, Mercedes is a luxury goods company in uncertain times. Germany makes overpriced cars for overpaid people. It is not guaranteed that you can sell overpriced cars of average reliability forever. Since 2008, Germany has lived off Chinese economic growth. The last comment I'm going to share with you came from someone who said, ask any tow truck driver if they would buy a Mercedes. One driver told me about being called to tow one that broke down on a test drive with 7 miles on the odometer. On the topic of car sales, this next story might interest you. I read this on Yahoo Finance, put out by Fortune, and written by Christian Hetzner, titled, As Tesla's European sales plummet 36% in August, automakers warn EV market now on continual downward trajectory. According to the author, sales of new Tesla cars in Europe collapsed by roughly a third in August. The author went on to reference the industry association ACEA, who said the electric car market is now on a continual downward trajectory. Here are my thoughts. Tesla is now competing with a lot of other companies. I really like some of their designs, and I think they are quite innovative. I just worry they are now having to compete with Chinese manufacturers. Companies like Xiaomi are quick to innovate. Look at their phones sometimes. It is going to be really interesting to see how their cars advance into the future. If we are in a recession or headed into a recession, executives at Tesla better get prepared for sales to potentially slow further. Only time will tell, in my opinion. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, auto manufacturers are going to be punished for their inability to sell a car that no one wants. The next commenter said, inexpensive EV sales are booming in China and wherever they export their cars. If the West could produce less expensive EVs, people would buy them. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, high prices and high interest rates. If I needed a new car these days, I would not buy one. I'd buy a cheap used car or use public transportation. I suspect I am not the only one. So car sales are down across the board. It does not matter the brand. Actually, I reckon other brands are going to suffer more. Well, the commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.